Hi and welcome, and I guess welcome back, right? Because it's been a little bit, right? Okay, so I know some of you out there have been saying, oh my gosh, she must have something new she wants to share with us. Well, I did. I did want to share that whole unboxing of the darn keyboard that was already open when I received it. That beautiful, or what would have been a really beautiful Mercury Stealth Black keyboard. Okay, Stealth Black, Mercury Stealth Black. That part's important to remember. Okay, so yeah, okay, I'm fiddling with this. We'll get to this. Okay, so I'm gonna give it to the dog. I'm gonna put it on the table actually. Okay, so anyhow, what was I saying? Oh, so okay. So I really was going to share that wonderful Mercury Stealth Black V75 HE keyboard. That's the one that showed up that was already opened. So yeah, that went back. You best believe I just sent that right on back. And then I, of course, instantaneously got online, went this time directly to the Gravistar website, right? I went to their website and ordered what I thought was the Mercury Stealth Black keyboard. I did not know that two different keyboards existed with the same darn name of Mercury Stealth Black. Okay, I didn't. I did not know this. But I also wasn't paying very much attention. And we'll get to that too in a second. So I'm looking at the calendar thinking, there is no freaking way this keyboard is going to show up on my doorstep, not even with rush shipping, which they don't have. It's not going to show up in time for my trip, which, launched on March 6th. And so I thought I was being smart, right? Who knew? But I had it shipped over to my mom, thinking, I'm there for a week, it'll show up. I'll have it then for the rest of my trip. It'll be great. That did not happen. No, I watched the tracking information and then instantaneously was heartbroken when I saw that it was going to arrive on the day I was leaving, which meant that it didn't matter. I wasn't going to see it. So my mom was kind enough when it did arrive, which was not even on that day. It was actually later than that. She was kind enough to send it back to my home. While I, for the rest of my trip, drama, was without a keyboard, which is fine. Laptops come with keyboards. I wish I was also doing a video about, how I feel now, now that I've gotten used to the HP Victus laptop, the gaming laptop. That's another tale for another day. Anyhow, so fast forward, I get home. Opening boxes is honestly the last thing I wanted to do. And I didn't want to just do it on the fly. I wanted to be able to sit down with you and open up the box and share with you my excitement over the Mercury Stealth Black keyboard that I thought was the V75 HE keyboard. Not what arrived, which was the K-Lite. I don't know why they call it that. I should look into that. Because, side by side, they kind of look the same. I think the V75HE, the difference being the key type, right? The switch type, the HE, the Hall effect, whatever. I don't understand really, truly how that all sort of works. I do and I don't. I'm not completely lost, technologically speaking. I just don't know how to articulate the information that is stored in my brain. But anyhow, back to my story. So I finally get around to wanting to do this unboxing video. And I set up my lights and I set up my phone, my camera, whatever. And I put the box down. I'm thinking, yeah, this is gonna be great. No, because obviously that video doesn't exist, right? Otherwise, you would have seen me much, much sooner than you have so far. No, what arrived was, sadly, it turned out what I actually ordered, which was the Mercury Stealth Black keyboard, but the K-Lite version, not the V75HE. I was sad. I didn't even want to make the video at that point because, like, what was the point? I couldn't open it. It was like still in brand new condition. So I did what any normal person would do, right? I got online and I reached out to customer service, who I knew was going to say no. And in fact, they did say, no, your request falls outside of our window of 7 days. That was the only trip up for me, was the time. Because the product was brand new. As far as I know, it was perfectly operational. I didn't touch it other than to lift it and put it down, but I was kind about that. I was gentle with the box. But anyhow, so I sent it back. I got in touch with customer service. Hold up, rewind. I contacted customer service and I said, hey, I would like to do an exchange. I would like to send you back this brand spanking new Mercury Stealth Black K-Lite keyboard, which is one price. And in exchange, I would like to swap and pay you extra money for the one I want, which I know is a little bit pricier. So to me, I'm thinking, to this part, how could they possibly say no? I'm wondering, like, to myself, thinking, either way, if they do this, they kind of get ahead. Not a lot, but they do make money because they will be able to resell that brand spanking new, unopened Mercury Stealth Black K-Lite keyboard. And I will give them the money if they want even a little extra for shipping to get the one I want, which means they're gonna get more money. What company wouldn't want that? I was like baffled, thinking they're gonna say no. How could they say no to this? But they turned it around. They came back. They didn't quite say no. They needed some clarification. And so I provided such clarification as I just informed you of, the same logic that I had, which I think would, any normal person would think, yeah, this is a deal. This is smart, like this is an exception to the rule. And with rules, there are exceptions sometimes, most of the time. Okay, all the time, there's exceptions. So I'm thinking, this is a great exception. They get money. They're winning. And in exchange, I am winning because I will have had or will receive my keyboard that I've been waiting for now 2 months. Or have we been going on this keyboard rant for 3? I want to say 2, just to be, the law of averages. So I'm thinking, okay, so we set up the deal. We negotiated. I got their invoice, which made no sense to me because on the invoice it said that I was paying them for another K-Lite. And I was like, hold up. I'm not, no, that is not what we're doing. We're not exchanging the same product and me paying you $65 more just for the same darn thing. So I needed clarification that time. And then they clarified for me, and then I read the small print, such as, what made what made up the totals. So it all made sense then. So I paid, it was legit. The shipping location where the return's going, though, like Shop Bob or some nonsense. I actually was like, red flag. Let me reach out to this customer service person, make sure they're with the company that I purchased from. So I think that might still be in question. We'll see. But we negotiated. They sent me a label, a return shipping label, and I popped it on that box and actually went a step further. I'm just going to share this with you because only you, right? Only you and you over there, and that dog, my dog, the sleeping dog you cannot see. He's right there. Anyhow, there's a reason why I'm excited about dogs. Okay, we'll get there. So I got the label, I stuck it on there, I shipped it off, and then they said, okay, here's your receipt, which I put somewhere and I can't find it. But I do have the FedEx receipt for shipping. So I can track the return of this because they said to me, they won't ship me my keyboard, the one that I purchased through the exchange, until they receive the K-Lite. And my thinking is this. I took the label they gave me, I smacked it on that box, and I shipped it off. The minute I get a receipt from FedEx, that should be done. It's out of my hands. I cannot control what happens from that point forward. And in fact, I this is what I did, and this is what I'm going to share with you. I took the product and I gift wrapped it in blue because I was sad. Okay, there's some logic to this weirdness. So I gift wrapped it. I didn't put any ribbons on it because I felt that was extra. But I gift wrapped it in blue to match my mood about having to do this whole jumping through hoops. And so I then put it in a bigger box, filled that sucker with the stuff that I won't mention because I personally abhor the thought that it even exists. Popcorn. And I filled it with all the fluffy stuff. And then I put a little gift card in there that said, or a thank you card that said, thank you kindly for your assistance or something to that effect. And so I put that in there. I put the invoice that they had, a copy of that in there, and I closed it and I super sealed it, but I didn't overdo the tape. But I sealed it so that it was fine, and then I dropped it off. So whoever's actually, handling that box when they get it, I love this. They're gonna have to unwrap it to actually get to the product. I figured, if I've got to jump through some hoops to explain why an exchange made best monetary sense, logical sense, whatever sense, made sense. See what I did there? So anyhow, so this boxing video is actually not really an unboxing video. However, now that I've told you the funny little story about now how I am waiting on my Mercury Stealth Black V75HE, the Holophec keys, keyboard. So we'll see how long this takes. Maybe another month. We'll see. I'm marking the calendars, all of them, all the calendars, watch calendar even. I don't have the watch on. So anyhow, so this is not an unboxing video, but I have a box that I would like to share with you. I'm gonna lean forward. Really, I'm gonna duck the camera. Okay, I know, glamorous. So, all right. So, yes, I have happy eyes because I am so over the moon happy. And this was so needed, okay? So, you guys know at this point, y'all know I got Magic, right? Magic. my Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. He's, my gremlin, my heart, my shadow. He's really alive, I swear. I mean, because, I'll tilt the camera over. That's a sleeping dog. Come on. How is that not cute? All right, back to me. I probably totally messed with all your eyes' vision. All right. So, okay, I'm gonna hold this up because, when you have a dog, there are certain needs that a dog has. Certain needs require the attention of owners, of parents, pet parents, dog parents. And that usually comes in the form of little plastic bags that are hopefully biodegradable. And putting refuse where refuse belongs. But that said, with one dog, maybe just, a couple of those, rolls of things, but you don't need this many poop bags for just one dog. You know what this means? We're getting a baby puppy, a baby. It's like that. It's like the same premise. So yeah, I purchased. I'm not they're not funding me or anything, but I out of my research, they sounded like they were gonna do the job. They were gonna do the job with the business, and yeah, and there's plenty bags in there to last me quite some time. And then I'm going to feel happy about the planet every time I put the refuse where the refuse goes using these little bags. Okay, so that was my exciting box news. What is not as exciting is this. It is an empty case, a carrying case for my keyboard that's not here yet. This case I purchased right from the get-go has been empty ever since I placed the first order for the first K-Lite that was all pink and pretty aurorally. Now wishing that I had just kept it and just said F the pink, whatever. But no, I have a Dream Mouse. And Dream Mouse requires Dream Keyboard. This mouse is also Mercury Stealth Black, which is why it was so important that the keyboard be, the same as the mouse. How was I to know there was a K-Lite V75AG? I mean, I went looking for the Mercury Stealth Black that I had ordered once before that came opened up already. I don't know who tampered with it. Probably nobody. But better safe than sorry, right? Especially now that we're gonna have two Cavalier King Charles Spaniels, which are honestly best dog. Yeah, best dog. Seriously, if you need a heart warmer or a sofa warmer, I couldn't recommend the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel more than any other dog, because as far as emotional support animals go, he's dreamy, he's funny, he really makes my heart happy, and that's important. Just like this keyboard coming, it'll make my heart happy. Not as happy as my dogs too. I'm a cat person. How did this happen? Mysteries to solve on another day. So stay tuned on the arrival that I'm expecting of the Mercury Stealth Black V75HE keyboard. Right? Stealth Black, just like the mouse. So yeah, we're staying tuned for that. And I will be back when that gets here, which hopefully is soon. Sooner than, how long was I away from you? A month? Oh, that is far too long. I missed you guys. All of you. But anyhow, I will catch you later, Gator, Skater, whatever. So I'm gonna press the button. And I have to say, like, the red button is much more appealing to look at than the green button, which is you. Which is that like me saying, psychologically speaking, that I'm afraid to look you in the eye? Again, things to ponder on another day. Have a great night, day, morning, whatever.